They have censored the Israeli press against using any further pictures or names of any military personnel involved in the attack. They have gone round the newspaper offices and taken away all pictures of all military personnel involved in the attack. They have instructed their Attorney General to prepare a defense team against the war crimes allegations they expect to come from the United Nations. They have launched a state cover-up of their own war crimes. Last week and the week before on the BBC, they ran again the story of Anne Frank, the heroic young girl who kept a diary of her time escaping the Nazi Holocaust perpetrators. Would we have been impartial between Anne Frank and the Nazis that were searching to kill her? Or were we with Anne Frank and against the Nazis? Gerald Kaufman, my parliamentary colleague, Member of Parliament for Gorton, fellow campaigner over many years on Kashmir, is a Jew and one of the most distinguished parliamentarians. He said this. He said, "I was born into an Orthodox Jewish family. We were Zionists," he said. "We collected money in a tin box in the corner for what he called the pioneers. My family was partially wiped out in the Holocaust," he said. "My relatives died in the gas chambers of Adolf Hitler. My mother," he said, "was in her bed sick when the Nazis arrived to occupy her village, but they came upstairs and murdered her in her bed." And then he paused and he said, "My grandmother didn't die to provide political cover for the war criminals and mass murderers who rule Israel." And if Gerald Kaufman can say that, then the BBC can say it too. I say this, I hope you won't be offended. On the final day, on the judgment day, I don't know how anybody who's a believer is going to answer the questions that will be asked of all of us. What are you going to say? I knew what Tony Blair did. I knew what Gordon Brown did. I know they killed millions of Muslims around the world, but I kept on voting for them anyway. How is any believer going to say that on the judgment day? How are you going to say that? Now there'll be two columns arriving in Gaza at the same time. There'll be Gordon Brown's Royal Navy. For the first time since Suez in 1956, acting in Israel's service against the Arabs. And there'll be the column that will leave London on St. Valentine's Day, the 14th of February. We'll be sending a Valentine to Palestine, led by fire engines from the northwest, your region, followed by 6 ambulances already, paid for by a Muslim family in Stirling in Scotland. 6 ambulances they bought at auction to send to Gaza. And so far, 24 trucks and vans from all over Britain, including Rochdale, which will be filled with everything that we can gather that the Palestinian people need. And by the time we leave on the 14th of February, inshallah, that will be 100 vehicles long, that convoy going from London to Gaza. What will be in the trucks? People ask me, what do the Palestinian people need? They need everything. The people don't have socks to wear. They don't have blankets to cover themselves in the bitter winter. They've got no houses. 61,000 families have had their houses destroyed. They need everything from pajamas to pens, from bandages to laptops, building materials, children's nappies. They need everything because they have nothing. And those of us who've got something have to share that something with them on this convoy leaving on February the 14th. So if you can, get yourself a vehicle and come with us. We're going through France, through Spain, through the Maghreb, through Morocco, where the people of Morocco will turn out in their hundreds of thousands to cheer us on our way, through Algeria, Tunisia, Libya, until we reach the great Egypt, the beating heart of the Arab world. Some people say to me, will the Egyptians allow Galloway in? Will the Egyptians allow this great British convoy, the biggest British column, to cross North Africa since the Second World War, and for just as noble a purpose? Will the Egyptians allow this convoy to pass? Well, I'll tell you this. If millions come out to wave good luck to that convoy, if hundreds of us are on that convoy, if Press TV and Al Jazeera and all the networks are showing this convoy all the way to Egypt, if Mubarak says no, we'll blow his house down. We'll blow his house down. We'll blow his house down. Take the address of the warehouse. Send what you can send down to London, to Hazelmere, where our warehouse is, and we'll put your gifts for Palestine on those vehicles. Action speaks louder than words. Giving money is better than applauding. If there was any justice in this world, it would be the governments of the world that were organizing a great international airlift. They'd be telling Israel, forget your control of the skies. We're going to sail our navies into Gaza with nappies and building materials and medicine and food. But no. So if the governments won't do it, we have to. Otherwise, we can't sleep in good conscience at night. We can't pray. We can't fast. We can't be hypocrites, pretending to be believers in God, whilst the Palestinian people are being slaughtered, starved, frozen to death. This is a given. This is a wajib. How can we accept a situation where our children are warm and fed, where Israeli children are warm and fed, while Palestinian children are cold and hungry? We can't accept this. No sincere person can accept this. So I didn't come here to entertain you, you know. I came to beseech you to do everything you can to help this convoy reach Gaza, laden with as much as it can carry. Wassalamu alaikum.